guys! So today I'm here to do a review. It's kind of like a mashup review video where I'm going to review 2 books instead of just one and give you guys a quick rundown of what I thought of them because I ended up loving both of these books and I think they should be spread throughout the booktube community more. The first one I will talk about is Poison Princess by Kresley Cole. This is the first book in the Arcana Chronicles and I loved this story and the world and I'm so excited to read the rest of the books. I did give this one a 4 out of 5 stars only because it took me a little bit longer to get into. Not like a super long time, but the whole first part of the book, it's like building up to everything that goes on afterwards. So you just gotta get through, like most like books are, the first part of the build up. And it is a little bit slower than the rest, so it took me a little bit longer to get into. I know some people loved it from page 1, so total personal preference there. Basically, this book is about a girl who she has these visions, or dreams I should say, about the end of the world, and it's kind of coming to her, and she sees this boy who's in her dreams, and she doesn't know what to make out of anything. She's turning into this like evil, I guess a witch that can control like plants and stuff, and she has no idea what this means or why she's having like these vivid dreams of the end of the world. Well, it turns out these are actually visions that were kind of like forewarning her of what was going to happen. And a few weeks later, come to find out that these visions do come true, and basically, how do I word this? Like a big, like massive kind of like explosion type thing happens and it wipes out pretty much most of all mankind. And there are some survivors, not a whole lot. And there's also these zombie-like creatures that are no longer human, but they are like pretty much zombies is how I would call them, and they just live off of trying to find water. I think they call them baggers in this book. So they will eat your flesh if like there's a human nearby, or they seek out water sources to keep them hydrated, I guess. I mean, I don't know why if you're dead you need water, but yeah. So it follows the storyline of this girl who is basically stranded on her ranch with her mother, and they survived the big explosion thing, but her mother is sick and she's been taking care of her. And after a few months have passed, a fellow classmate of hers named Jack ends up coming back into her life, and they didn't necessarily get along. They were both kind of from 2 sides of the track, and I will say that Jack is not a character that you will immediately like. I thought he was a pompous jerk right at first, but he totally grew on me, and you get used to his like moods and you figure out why he is the way he is. But basically, he had seen like a drawing that she did of these visions, and he knew that there was something up with her, so he decides to seek her out and help her go find her grandma, who she believes can help her figure out these visions that she had, because now she remembers her grandma talking about her being this big player in a game, and she wants to find out more about it. So she embarks on this journey with Jack to her grandma, but she also finds out through these visions that she keeps having that she is part of this big, I guess, game you can call it, that Arcana players are all in. Every so hundred or thousands of years, it gets reset basically, and there are new players, and they all take parts from like tarot cards, so characters that you see on tarot cards. And I can't remember all their names. I can know there's Death, she's like the Red Queen, I think it's the Red Queen. She controls like plants and stuff. There's the Liar or the Deceiver, I can't remember, the Fool. Like there's just a bunch of different people, and they've all got like special powers. And they all have like this Arcana call. Like hers is come touch but you'll pay a price. So she's kind of like luring people in to snag and kill them. And the thing is that these games, since they have occurred every so hundred of years, she gets these flashbacks of her character, but it's someone else. This sounds so confusing, it's so hard to explain. So basically there's like the Red Witch every year, but it's someone different is the Red Witch every year, and she gets visions of every Red Witch in the game, and she doesn't want to be like this. She doesn't want to be this like mean lady who kills and ensnares people. And she also finds out that the main player, Death, who wins like most of these games, is after her, and basically they've just had it out for each other all games, and they can hear each other's call whenever they're close, and it's such a cool like dynamic. I can't even explain it to you guys in words. I hope I'm doing this justice. But basically the point is you want to kill off all the Arcana players and be the last one standing, and you get to live. and for every arcana that you take out, I think you get some form of tattoo or something. It's been a little while since I've read the first one, but yeah, you want to basically kill off everyone else before they kill you. So it's definitely an interesting, very different book than I've ever read, but I love it. I think that if it sounds like something you guys would enjoy, definitely pick it up, and I have heard nothing but good things from other people that have picked it up, so just saying, if you want to try it out, go ahead. They might, if you have a Kindle, I think you can get like the first couple chapters for free. I know they used to have it that way, I could be wrong, but I mean, it's worth just trying out to see if it might be something you would like. The second book I'll be reviewing is Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This book was so good. It is one of my new all-time favorite reads. It is about a girl who it starts off and she's walking down the road, has no memory of who she is, how she got there, why she's all scraped up, and she ends up in the hospital after a police officer finds her and takes her in. And her parents show up and she has no memory of who they are, and she's kind of freaked out of what's going on, and she discovers through the police questioning her that she went missing a few days ago along with her best friend, and she was found because she was wandering, but her best friend has not yet been found. As she starts to acclimate back into life, she finds out that she wasn't necessarily the nicest girl around. She was basically the mean girl of her school, and her friend was more like a frenemy type thing. So it kind of adds this interesting dynamic to the story, because you don't know, as a reader, you don't know what happened and no one else knows what happens, but they're all kind of assuming that the main character might have done something. Now, she doesn't want to revert back to this old mean girl self, so she actually starts being more nicer to people, tries to get closer with her family, something that she had not done for years and years. And people start thinking that this is really weird of her, but I really like her character for this. I liked the character that you get to see, not necessarily what she was, because she did some pretty nasty things. I mean, you get like people telling her what she would do. Like, she told a girl to eat a salad because she thought she was fat. Like, just really weird things. But she also wants to help find this friend of hers that went missing, and she is kind of freaked out because she doesn't know if maybe she did do it, or if there's a friend of hers out there that would be capable of doing something so brutal. Along the way, there is a boy named Carson who I came to adore. He's probably my favorite character in this book, and his dad works for her family as like part of like a help type thing, and they own a plantation, and within that plantation he lives with his dad in a little house off to the side. And basically they grew up together. They were like best friends growing up, and she wasn't always a mean girl, but when she met this best friend of hers, they kind of became the mean girls of the school, and she kind of became a jerk to him and said that he was below her and was just nasty to him. Well, now that she has no memories, she starts trying to get closer to him because she trusts him, and I thought that was kind of, like, I don't know, I loved their relationship because it shows what a character of a guy he is, where you have this girl who is nasty to you for years, and I mean, he wasn't like, hey, let's be best friends again. Like, he was definitely, he put her in her place at first, like, why do I want to be nice or friends with you or help you out? You were mean to me. But he kind of feels bad for her situation, and you can tell he's really relieved that nothing happened. So he kind of helps her out in figuring out what happened to her. So all in all, this book is mostly like a mystery type thing. Like, you don't know who is responsible for her missing. Is her friend dead? Who did it? Is it one of their friends? Is it her? I mean, there were so many possible scenarios, and I will say, out of all the things while reading this I had thought in my head, the ending, like the outcome at the end, was not at all what I would have expected or predicted. So bonus for you, Jennifer L. Armentrout, for that. This is easily one of my new all-time favorite books, and I highly recommend you all to go pick this up right now if that sounds really good or interesting to you. Alright guys, in the comments down below, let me know if you have read either of these books and what you thought. I would love to discuss that with you. And if not, let me know if this is something you would like to read, and if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. So with that, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!